All right, let's go ahead and define your niche. Your niche is your area of specialty, what you do, who you are, and more importantly, what you're going to be creating content about. I fully understand how hard and overwhelming it can be to pick one niche. So, I'm going to break down a few different ways for you to define your very specific niche. And I want you to know that it is fully okay to pick a niche now and change your mind in 2 weeks. Change your mind in 6 weeks, 6 months. It is your niche, but just know that changing your niche means that you are starting over when it comes to content. Now, I'm going to give you a few good examples of niches, and then I'm going to give you examples of how to get hyper specific with those typical niches that we're seeing on social media. For example, if I say that my niche is real estate, okay, that's extremely broad, it's vague, and it has a whole umbrella. There's a million things that you could be doing within real estate, right? A way to get more specific with that is say, I'm a multifamily real estate investor in Florida, right? That's super hyper specific, okay? So whether you're a landlord, do you fix and flip properties? Do you buy and hold? Do you do multifamily? Do you own several mobile home parks? Do you buy commercial buildings? What area are you in? What area are you buying in? Maybe you're not even actively buying in specific cities. Maybe you are just holding on to the properties you have, or maybe you are wholesaling them. Be as specific as possible, because the more specific you are with your niche, the more specific you can be with your messaging in terms of your content, and the more you're going to reach a target audience who knows exactly what you're talking about. Now, another example is fitness. A lot of people say, my niche is fitness. Okay. Super, super broad. And unfortunately, going broad with your niche just doesn't work anymore. More specific niche in the fitness industry would be how to lose the baby weight as a postpartum mom. That's still about fitness and weight loss, but you're talking to postpartum moms, right? Now, what if you don't know what niche to pick? I understand that you're going to have that problem as well. So let's figure out how you're going to pick a niche. Now, I want you to keep in mind that you probably have several interests, several hobbies, and several special things about you that make you who you are outside of whatever it is that you're doing as a business. For example, my hobbies include baking and scrapbooking. I'm also a girl mom. I have two girls of my own, and I have a stepson, but you don't see any of that stuff in my content because my area of expertise is marketing. What I did is I picked one specific niche or topic that I can talk about over and over and over again, that I'm an expert in, that I can teach on, and one topic that I am not going to get bored with. I love all things marketing. It doesn't get boring because it's constantly changing. I'm constantly keeping up with things. Like, I will literally listen to a marketing podcast as I'm falling to sleep at night. Like, it's like my ASMR. I have to be on top of things. I love learning new things about it. I've been in this industry for 5 years and I'm not getting bored with it. Another way to look at it is you can ask yourself, if someone were to come to me for business advice or advice in general, what are they going to ask me about? Because I know if someone were to come to me for advice, they're not going to come to me for real estate questions. They're definitely not going to come to me for weight loss questions because I don't know a thing about weight loss. I've tried every fad diet out there. I can tell you what doesn't work. Um, they might come to me for motherhood things because, again, like I said, I am a mom, but you don't see that part of me on social media because I really don't like to share my personal life. But one thing that I get a lot of questions on is marketing, because if you're here, then you've already seen my face on social media. I am across several platforms. I post consistently at least once a day. I'm in my stories. Now, if you still don't know what to choose, that is okay. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed or like you're on the spot, like you absolutely have to pick today. You do have to pick one. Stick with it for a minimum of 60 days. And after that 60 days, and I mean 60 days of consistent content, 60 days worth of content. After those 60 days, ask yourself, am I bored with this? Have I run out of things to say about this? Or maybe I've learned a lot about this and I want to dive even deeper. Do I want to talk about this a lot more? Is there more that I have to say? Something like that. You can go either way. And if it's the latter, where I'm not interested in this anymore, I don't have anything more to say about it, I've gotten bored with it, maybe you got bored posting about it 2 weeks in, change your niche. Also, I want to say that if you are drastically changing your niche, It's also time to start new social media accounts. This is about the one and only time that I recommend starting a whole new, fresh social media account, whether it doesn't matter what platform. It comes down to if you are drastically changing your niche because your audience, your followers, are no longer going to be interested, or they may not be interested in what it is that you are now going to be talking about. And what I mean by drastically changing it, like if I were talking about how to lose the baby weight as a postpartum mom, and then I switch over to social media marketing, that's completely different. And that is where I would start a whole new social media page on every platform. Now, if I were going from how to lose the baby weight as a postpartum mom to something a little bit more hyper specific, like keto diets or something like that, may not be targeted specifically for moms, but it's still within the fitness weight loss industry. So that in that case, I would not completely start over from scratch on all social media platforms. If you're in the same industry, and I want to say industry and niche are not the same thing. Industry, like I would say, is fitness and real estate. Those are industries. A niche is, how to lose the baby weight for postpartum moms, as in the fitness industry, but under its own niche. It's hyper specific. To make choosing a niche a little bit easier on you, I did put a little questionnaire for you in the description so that you can ask yourself these questions and really come up with a solid niche, a solid topic that you know you won't get tired of talking about. It is your area of expertise, and this is something that you can see yourself monetizing with.